recording. So, oh my god, I'm just gonna make this bigger. Bigger. Alright, so I am going to create a little chart, and we have, let me write brother and the boy. Okay, so this is this now, and the time here is going to be plus 4 years. So let's, the brother, I don't know anything about him, so I'll call him X. And the boy is 10 years older than his brother, so it'd be X plus 10. In 4 years, it's going to be X plus 4, right, for the brother, and the boy is going to be X plus 4 plus 10, which we can obviously write it as X plus 14. Oops. X plus 14, right? These two combine. So now I can set up my equation, and in 4 years, the boy, will be twice as old as his brother. So in 4 years, the boy is going to be twice as old. The boy, I'll write boy, is going to be 2 times older than his brother. So that's the equation we're going to use. Now we all got to substitute. We're going to use this value here. So the boy is X plus 14, right? And the brother is X plus 4, so it's going to be 2 times X plus 4. So that's our little equation. X plus 14 equals 2x plus 8. Let's subtract an x over here. Let's subtract an x over here. We get 14 equals, in this case, x plus 8. We're going to do minus 8 here, minus 8 over here. And those two 8s will be 0, and x is going to equal 6. So now that we have the value of f, we can plug it in here. By the present age of each other. So let's look at this column. So if x equals 6, that means the brother equals, his age is 6, and the boy is going to be 6 plus 10, which gives us 16. And let's just plug it in over here just to see the future. Let's see if that works. And in 4 years, the boy is going to be twice as old as his brother. So in 4 years, the brother would be x 6 plus 4, right? So in 4 years, brother's going to be 10 years old. And in 4 years, the boy who is 16 now will be 20. And you can see that indeed the boy is going to be twice as old as the brother. Okay? I like these problems. It's a little challenge instead of just solving those two-step equations where you buy 5 t-shirts plus 1 book or something, and you have 5t plus b, and you know the value. That's super easy. This one requires a little bit more of thinking process. So now again, we have a father, we have a son, and I wish I could do straight lines, but I can't. I can. Now, so right now, let me see. Father is okay. So the son, I don't know anything, so let's call him X. But I know the father is 4 times the age of the son. In 20 years, so let's write price plus 20. I have no idea why I created that extra column there. Not necessary, which means I could have made this a little bigger. So that t plus 20, right? 20 years is going to be 4x plus 20, right? And the son's going to be his age plus 20 years. So that's what I know about. So that's let me write 2 over here. And in 20 years, the father will be twice as old as the son. The father's age, the father, he's going to be 2 times the age of the son. Now we just gotta go and substitute. So the father, we know right now his age is represented as 4x plus 20, and the son is 2 times the age of the son, which is x plus 20. And we get a nice multi-step equation. So 4x plus 20, nothing's happening over here, so let's just keep that as it is. Distributive property, you get 2x plus 40, right? Let's get rid of the 2x over here. I just like to get rid of the smaller variable. And we're going to get 4x minus 2x, so let me make a little barrier here. 4x minus 2x is 2x. That 20 comes down. These two x's are going to become 0, equals 40. Subtract 20 from this side, subtract 20 from the other side, and we get this cross out 2x equals 20. And if you divide both sides by 2, x equals 10. So the present age of x equals 10, it means that our son is 10 years old, and the father is 4 times 10, which is 40. And you can see there's a 4 times relationship. Okay, but in 20 years, the father will be just twice as old. So let's see in 20 years. So in 20 years, x plus 10, so in 20 years, the son will be 30. And in 20 years, the father will be 4 times 10, which is 40 plus 20 will be 60. And you can tell that in 20 years, the father will be 2 times the age of his son. Now, once you get the hang of it, of these and how to set it up, they become relatively very simple to do. I think it's just the beginning. Finding a way to set up the problem is the issue. So we have Pat, we have James. So Pat is 20 years old, so I don't know anything about James, so I'm going to call him X. But I know that Pat is 20 plus X, right? Because it's 20 years older, so that's... And then in the future, the t time here, it's going to be in 2 years, so we're going to go plus 2. And in 2 years, Pat, so it's going to be 20 plus X plus 2, right? Because we're going to add 2 years. And James is going to be X plus 2, which is 2 years from now. And in 2 years, Pat will be twice as old as James. So Pat will be 2 times James. So whatever James is, Pat's going to be twice as old, right? Let's substitute. So over here, instead of writing 20 plus X plus 2, I'm just going to write 22 plus X. And James is 2 times the age of James, which is X plus 2. We got 22 plus X equals 2X plus 4, distributive property. Let's get rid of this X. These go bye-bye. I'm left over is 22. This is X plus 4, minus 4 on each side. And we get that our value of X equals 18. And you can go back here, substitute. So James is 18. Pat's 20 plus 18, which is going to give 38. And let's see if that in 2 years, she's really twice as old. So in 2 years, James is obviously going to be 18 plus 20, 18 plus 2. So in 2 years, James is going to be 20 years old. And in 2 years, Pat's going to be 20 plus X, which is 18, right? If you substitute, if you put 18 over here, you get 20 plus 18, which is 38 plus 2 is 40. And you can see that indeed she's double his age if Pat is a girl. So, 4. We got Diane and daughter. So Diane and the daughter. And what do we know about them? Daughter, we don't know anything. Daughter's called Amy, so I'll write Amy over here. So we'll call her X. I know that Diane is 23 plus whatever her daughter is. And we're talking plus 6. Our time frame here is plus 6. In 6 years, obviously Diane is going to continue to have the relationship, but just she's going to be 6 years older, and the daughter is going to be whatever her age is, plus 6 years, right? That's a 6, by the way. And to set up our equation, we're going to use that sentence over here. Diane, in 6 years, Diane will be twice as old as Amy, so Diane is going to be 2 times whatever Amy is. Substitute. So instead of writing 23 plus X plus 6, I'm just going to write 29 plus X, because I can combine those two like terms. And Amy is X plus 6. And you can tell that now it's becoming repetitive, right? So it's 2x plus 12. We get to practice the multi-step equation by eliminating a variable on each side. So this goes bye-bye. 29 is left over. 2x minus x is x plus 12. Minus 12. Minus 12. And cross out x equals 29 minus 12 is, I believe, 17. So daughter is 17, right? Because that's the value of x. Diane makes 23 plus x, which is 23 plus 17. So Diane is 40. And in 6 years from now, obviously Amy's going to be 17 plus 6. She's going to be 23. And Diane is going to be 23 plus 17, which is 40, which is plus 6. She's going to be 46. And again, just to double check, that in 6 years, Diane will be twice as old, and that is absolutely true. Okay. 5, Fred and Barney. Okay, so we're doing the Flintstones, which I'm pretty sure none of you have watched a lot. So Barney, I don't know, I'll call him X. Fred is 4 years, so it's 4 plus X. That's the now. So we're talking 5 years ago, so careful. So we're talking about past, so it's going to be minus 5. Find a little change on the problem. So it's going to be 4 plus X minus 5, and then Barney's going to be X minus 5. And 5 years ago, the sum of their ages, so Fred plus Barney, that's 48. So let's write this down. So we, on one hand, I have X plus 4. So I'll write the whole thing. X plus 4 plus X minus 5. That's Fred's age 5 years ago, right? We're going to add that to X minus 5. That's going to equal 48. Now, remember, there's parentheses, so pretend there's a 1 outside. In this case, it's both positive, so everybody's going to come out of the parentheses same way. And then it's going to be plus X minus 5 equals 48. We can combine some like terms. X and X plus 4, positive X plus positive X is 2X. Minus 5 and minus 5 is negative 10, and negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. So now we have a nice two-step equation. Left side, right side, plus 6, and I get that 2X equals, I don't know, 54. Divide by 2, and X is going to give us 27. So Fred is 27 years old. Barney is 27 plus 4, which is 31. Okay, and 5 years ago, Barney was obviously 22, and Fred was minus 5, 26. Right? So, again, if you look at these two, 5 years ago, Fred was 26, Barney was 22, and 26 plus 22 indeed gives us the sum of 48, which was what the statement said. 6, John and Martha. We have John, Martha. Okay. I should make this wider. I will make it wider because I'm going to run out of room. So, this. So what do we know about John? Well, we don't know anything about Martha, so that's going to be our X. John is 4 times older than Martha, so it's 4 times X. 5 years ago, again, it's going to be minus 5, right? So it's what John is, that's his age. But 5 years ago, he was minus 5 years old. And then X, Martha is X years old, but 5 years ago, she's X minus 5. The sum of their ages was 50, so John plus Martha equals 50. So let's just change. So John is 4X minus 5. I put in parentheses. Martha is X minus 5. We're going to remove the parentheses. And you're going to say, why did you do that? Just creating more work. But because sometimes if that was a minus sign, then things would be differently here. Okay, so X minus 5. 4X and X is 5X. Minus 5 and minus 5 is minus 10 equals 50. Plus 10 on both sides. We get that 5X equals 60. And divided by 5, X equals 12. So, Martha is 12. John is obviously 4 times 10. 4 times 12, which is 48. So 48 and 12. But 5 years ago, Martha was 7 years old. And John was 48 minus 5, which is, I don't know, 43. And if you add 43 and 7, gives us that the sum of their ages was 50. Okay, you can always double check just to make sure. 7. push this down. So we're talking about Tim and Joanne. I don't know anything about Joanne, so she's X. Tim is 5 years older, so 5 plus whatever Joanne is. 6 years from now, so it's plus 6, right? So plus 6, 5 plus X, and then plus 6 years. And Joanne is going to be X plus 6 years. I know the sum of their ages is, so Tim plus Joanne is going to be 79. So in this case, X plus 5 plus X plus 6, I'm just going to write 11X. Okay, sorry, not 11X. 5 plus 6 is 11 plus X. And Joanne, I'm just going to write X plus 6. In this case, I was lazy and didn't put the parentheses. I'm just going to skip one step. I equals 79. X and X is 2X. 11 plus 6 is 17. Equals 79. Left side, right side. Minus 17, minus 17. 2x is going to be, I don't know, 7 minus 1 is 62. Divide by 2, x is 31. So, Joanne is 31, and obviously Tim is going to be 36, because he's 5 years older. 6 years from now, Joanne is going to be 31 plus 6, she's going to be 37. And Tim is going to be 36 plus 6, he's going to be 42. And if I add 42 and 37, it does give me the sum of 79. It's nice that once you get the hang of it, you actually can do these problems very easily now. Jack and Jill, no, Lacey. Lacey, I don't know anything. X, Jack is 2 times her age. We're talking about in 3 years, so it's going to be 3 years from now. So everything is going to be 3 years plus. X plus 3. And Jack plus Lacey is going to be 54. So let's replace what we know. Jack I can replace with 2x plus 3. And Lacey I can replace with x plus 3. And that should give us 54. 2x and x is 3x. 3 and 3 is going to be 6. 54. Minus 6 minus 6. 3x equals 48. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 16. So that means Lacey 16 and Jack is 32. 3 years from now, Jack's going to be 35 and Lacey's going to be 19. And is 35 plus 19, 54? Yes, it is. 9. So, la suma de las edades. Do I have an accent? Let me try. John. Some of the ages of John and Mary is 32. So let me write this. John plus Mary is 32. Let's go create a table. Still have to create a table. John, Mary. Find the price of that we got now. So this is going to be minus 4. John was twice as old as Mary. Hang on. I got this. John was twice as old as Mary. So it's Mary X. John is, what is John? 4 times as old as Mary. And then 4 years ago, be 4x minus 4 and x minus 4, right? Let's see if that works. 4x minus 4 plus Mary, which is x minus 4, equals 32. 4x and x is 5x. Negative 4 is negative 8. Equals 32. Plus 8 plus 8. 5x equals 40, and obviously divided by 5, x equals 8. So let's see if that works. If x is 8, that's Mary's age, which is 8. John is going to be 32. 4 years ago, John was 28 and Mary was 4. Does it add up to 32? Yes, it does. Yeah. I don't know why the confusion there. DS, the sum of the ages of father and son. So father plus son equals 56. El papá y el hijo. Okay, so 4 years ago is minus 4 years ago. The father was 3 times as old as the son. So did I write hijo? Huh, I meant to write son. It's okay. Hijo means son. Let me finish this quick before the battery dies out. Hijo. What did you get? 4 years ago. The father was 3 times. So the hijo is x. Father's going to be 3 times x. 4 years ago is going to be 3x minus 4, and the hijo was obviously x minus 4. So the father's 3x minus 4 plus x minus 4 equals 56. 3x and x is 4x. Negative 4 is negative 8. It's 56. Plus 8 plus 8. 4x equals, I don't know, 64. Divide by 4, divide by 4. And x equals 16. So let's see if that works. So that means the son is 16. The father is 3 times 16, which is 48. And then 4 years ago, 48, he was 44. And the son was obviously 16 minus 4 is 12. And you can tell that 44 plus 12 is 56. And that's it before my battery dies out. Okay, so hopefully you have some fun with this.